And we are live. Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to the Gentleman of Crypto, episode 750. 750. Today is Tuesday, June 29th, 2021, and I'm King, here to bridge the gap between community and crypto every day, Monday through Friday at 10ish. Today is a 10ish day. Bitcoin Day was having some technical difficulties, so hopefully he'll be able to join us. But if not, of course, we will keep the show rolling today. And today's top stories are Bitfinex shorts crumble, bears capitulate after Bitcoin holds above 30K. Craig Wright wins default judgment. Bitcoin.org must remove Bitcoin white paper. That is crazy. Jay-Z and Jack Dorsey own music streaming service could feature NFTs and smart contracts. Tom Brady, Giselle Bundchen, I can't pronounce her last name, become part owners of FTX. And Mexico's finance minister confirms cryptos are banned from financial system. But first and foremost, let's go ahead and take a look at these prices. Of course, we're using Coin Market Cap, as we like to now remind people, since we were so elegantly reminded, even though we covered this story, CoinMarketCap is owned by Binance. So, of course, these things can be skewed. But Bitcoin's coming in today at $36,275, up 5.48%. Altcoins are in the news as they're all up about 10%. Ethereum up 10.21% at $2,222. We're looking at Binance Coin BNB at $314, up 9%. Cardano at $1.41, up 7.43%. Dogecoin, I guess you all got that Elon Musk pump, huh? 27 cent, up 6.92%. Ripple is at 72 cent, up 14.36%. So that's actually one of the top in the top 10. And Polkadot's coming in at $17, up almost 14%, 13.95%. So those are the prices on the day. All right, want to really quickly talk about Bitfinex with these shorts. Bitfinex shorts crumble, bears capitulate after Bitcoin holds above 30K. So not necessarily a top story, but just kind of going around the price action. $726 million in Bitfinex shorts were quickly closed after Bitcoin price bounced at 30,500. People, we are not in the bear market. So I get the desire to short because, every week you're seeing that chop. But while you're seeing that chop, just keep going long. Just let it, let it dip where it dips. Don't force the short. Don't rush the short. Yes, we have probably in the last 8 weeks, we've seen at least 4 to 6 dips in the last 8 weeks alone. So there were plenty of opportunities to short it, and there's still going to be opportunities to short. I think we're still in some chop right now. We're going sideways right now, but we're still in a bull market. We are not in a bear market right now, people. So you have to be careful doing that, especially on some of these exchanges if you're doing it, because as we have already mentioned before, sometimes the exchange will essentially bet against you or what you're trying to do. If you're shorting the market, or if there's a lot of people on the same exchange shorting the market, this will happen. They'll get caught, and you will get $726 million close on those shorts. Look at that. Bitcoin's getting stronger. I love it. On June 25th, the amount of Bitcoin margin shorts at Bitfinex increased by 22,000. That is crazy, equivalent to 726 million. I will say, I wonder how they calculate this. If they calculate it based on the actual contracts or the margin itself. So are they going off of, if I'm going 25 times on margin, I'm going 50, I'm getting 50 times on the margin, even 100. Are they including that in those shorts count? Because that would make more sense for the 22,000 number. But even if it was, if it was, it would be crazy. But even if it wasn't, it'd be crazier, because that would essentially be saying those are 22,000 individual contracts in of itself. So regardless, is equivalent to 726 million. And I think that's a part of what we're seeing in the market right now. I think we're seeing this being reflected in the price of Bitcoin. So that's what I mean. Don't be fooled. We're still in that sideways movement right now, because nothing's really changed the last few weeks, a few days. Of course, Taproot, but people clearly aren't paying attention to it. But as far as these shorts being called, this may be why we saw the price bounce up a little bit. It says data confirms that one or more whales actively shorted the market, betting on the price decrease. The average price of the trade was around $33,000. So every $500 difference will result in $11 million profit or loss when closing the short position. So that's what I mean. This is crazy. And again, I actually talked about this in the masterclass as well. We showed you all some margin trading, and I showed you actually the difference when you're trading different contracts as far as going like 25 times margin, 10 times, 5 times, how quickly that call can be made, how quickly that margin call can be made. So this, this amount, $500 difference results in $11 million of profit or loss. People, that is a very slim and narrow gap when you're talking about Bitcoin itself, and we know how volatile Bitcoin is. I mean, literally look at that chart. You're talking about a $500 difference. That is crazy, and that is how you get your you get your short call and you get liquidated. And apparently, that's what happened to about $726 million worth of accounts. So again, as we saw that, I think that's why we see the price rebound the way it did today, and Bitcoin continues to get stronger as people continue to bet against it. I am not sure why people are still betting against it, but hey, it happens. That's not my trading strategy. It just, like I said, it just isn't worth it. It just shows it isn't worth to bet against it. All right, top story of the day though. Craig Wright, of course, is in the news. Before I get to him, want to make sure I get some shout outs going. I am just now pulling up the chat box. It's a little bit more difficult when I'm by myself. Boom. All right. First and foremost, let's go ahead and pay that like tax. We got about 142 people in here, 77 likes. Pay that like tax. Go ahead and smash that thumbs up. What's going on, Fanteezy, Dallas Pipes, Kadeem, Tri-City, Tiffany from New York. What's going on, Grand Rising, Chemo and Crypto, Leroy Forbes, Lift Hunt Game, Naim the Dream, Lyle Gibson, Jiu-Jitsu, Crypto, Last Square, DC, Just Inform You, Sierra Van Axel, what's going on? Track PFC Wales, Madam Crypto, Lisa Lee, hello, Nappy Waves, what's up? Milto, hello. Oh, what's going on? All right, so top story of the day. This is the craziest story in a while. I mean, come on, people. I'm actually just going to go off the story and the tweets because they did all the complaining for me. Craig Wright wins default judgment. Bitcoin.org must remove Bitcoin white paper. All right, so for those who don't know who Craig Wright is, first and foremost, Craig Wright is just another Bitcoin and cryptocurrency enthusiast at the end of the day. He's another professional who left whatever industry they're in to come over to Bitcoin and cryptocurrency years ago with a pocket full of money. So he started doing investments. He started making more money in crypto. Now, we did talk about the infamous Bitcoin Civil War, Segwit 2X. Again, we go through all this in the masterclass, but essentially, Craig Wright was one of the people during this whole fiasco where he wanted to fork Bitcoin off because they were trying to make Bitcoin a private corporate Bitcoin. It didn't work, so he joined forces with Roger Ver and Jahan Wu, who does the ASIC miners out of China, and they created Bitcoin Cash. Then they all started beefing publicly, and Roger Ver stayed with Bitcoin Cash. Craig Wright went to like Bitcoin SV or ABC or something, one of the two. Like, these are real names. And then Jahan Wu went to the latter or the foremost, whichever the two they decide to keep. But by and large, again, he's just a cryptocurrency enthusiast that came over with some money, became a businessman. But as businessman, he spotted a unique opportunity. Since SaT0sHi Nakamoto is anonymous, or that group of people are anonymous, he figured, hey, I can just lay claim to that because this human or group of humans will never raise their hand and say, no, he's lying, it's actually me. So he has been on this entire campaign of saying he is the real SaT0sHi Nakamoto. He created Bitcoin, but he lost the keys to the private wallet, the original wallet, which is why he doesn't have all the money. But he wants to lay claim legally to it. And again, as we're seeing, it used to be a funny ha-ha joke, but since there's nobody to fight back against it in court, it looks like courts are now starting to grant this man his claim somehow. So that is the background of this crazy story of how right now a Bitcoin enthusiast is essentially trying to wiggle his way into becoming SaT0sHi Nakamoto. Again, Bitcoin.org must now remove the Bitcoin white paper. And again, the Bitcoin white paper is for anyone. People like, no one owns it. We all can download it and we could put it on a t-shirt and sell it and make money off it. We could put it on our websites and host it. You can do whatever you want with it until this came out. Bitcoin.org must now remove the Bitcoin white paper. host a notice referring to the court's judgment, and pay $48,600 to cover Wright's legal costs. Now, I do have to give this plug one more time because I'm so excited about it, people. I'm not gonna lie. We are like 24 hours out, probably finished with this masterclass finally. We're getting all of that done, but we do go throughout the history of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, some notable events. And we talk about the Bitcoin white paper. We look at bitcoin.org in the masterclass. We look at all these things. So to see all this stuff that is free for everyone now come out to a court ruling where it says, again, per the court's judgment, they must pay a $48,600 cost to cover Wright's legal costs as well. Again, the self-proclaimed Satoshi Nakamoto and Bitcoin SVO, so he's on Bitcoin SV, proponent Craig Wright has won a legal battle claiming copyright infringement on the part of Bitcoin.org for hosting the Bitcoin white paper. Again, he also wants you to believe that Bitcoin SV is the real Bitcoin too. He wants you to sell your Bitcoin and get some Bitcoin SV. Wright won by default after the website's pseudonymous owner, Cobra, chose not to mount a defense. Bitcoin.org must now, and again, these people want to stay anonymous because this Bitcoin.org is in the Bitcoin white paper. This will literally have ties to who Satoshi Nakamoto may be, where he may be at, how the whole process were. Like, these people want to stay anonymous for good reason. So again, Bitcoin.org must now remove the white paper and display a notice referring to the judgment and cough up at least 35,000 GBP, $48,600 to cover Wright's legal costs. Cobra responded to the ruling on Twitter. All your fiat-based assets are ultimately secured by the same legal system that today made it illegal for me to host the Bitcoin white paper because a notorious liar swore before a judge that he's Satoshi, a system where justice depends on who's got the bigger wallet. I don't think you could get a better advertisement of why Bitcoin is necessary than what happened today. Rules enforced through cryptography are far more superior than rules based on whoever can spend hundreds of thousands of dollars in court. Again, have to plug it one more time because it's about to come out and I'm excited about it. Like, we literally talk about all this in the masterclass about why cryptography is so powerful. Like, just bottom line, we're talking about numbers, like factual numbers. You can see zeros and ones on a computer. And in real life, you're talking about a judge's ruling, a human's ruling. Like, how did they wake up and feel that day? Are they going to do everything by the book? Is the book right? Who made the laws in the book? I mean, all of this is based on humans when cryptography is based on code. So I'm with Cobra. This is a good example of what's wrong with the current fiat system, since it is backed and secured by our legal system. And again, for this to happen, I mean, he said it all. Like, literally, no one has paid Craig Wright any attention to this, but apparently a court is. And the biggest issue is this is going to set precedent. Now he can go to other courts around the world and start saying, well, I won in this court. I mean, well, hey, you all need to give me the same whatever here. And then you can actually start to build a case of being Satoshi, because you got to think of the long game, people. This is right now, the first few years he's making this fight. Another 10 or 20 or 30 years, when there's new people to crypto, more new people to crypto, more new people to crypto who don't know about the history of it or all these different things. And he's telling them, hey, not only is Bitcoin SV the real Bitcoin, but even the courts are telling people that, yes, only he can have the white paper and he's the actual Satoshi Nakamoto. In the next 20 or 30 years, that could be super damaging to the market. So it's crazy that, again, he's won this victory. Looks like Enter LLP, Wright's legal representation, celebrated the victory as an important development in Dr. Wright's quest to obtain judicial vindication of his copyright in his white paper. This is, again, Dr. Wright does not wish to restrict access to his white paper. This is hilarious. Wrote Enter senior associate Simon Cohen. However, he does not agree that it should be used by supporters and developers of alternative assets such as Bitcoin Core. So Bitcoin, he calls it Bitcoin Core, to promote or otherwise misrepresent those assets as being Bitcoin, given that they do not support or align with the vision for Bitcoin as he set out in his white paper. Again, people, I brought up this story based on the headline. I didn't even read the story before I'm reading it live right now with you. I guarantee you this. I am not lying to you. This is my first time reading this far down. And this is my point. Like, I mean, I see the play. He wants to convince people right now in the short term and the midterm that he's actually Satoshi Nakamoto. So in the next 10 or 15 years, in the 10 or 15 years or 30 years thing, that's me being like super conservative with it, or liberal, should I say. Like essentially he could make this happen in the next 2 or 3 years. Everybody's buying up Dogecoin, talking about it's going to be the next currency. Like, hey, if you believe that, I have this oceanfront property in Arizona to sell you. You know what I mean? Like it's the same thing happening here. He's like, oh, okay. People will actually buy up Dogecoin. Why not have Bitcoin SV? Why not have a court in whatever country tell everybody I'm the real Satoshi Nakamoto? In the next 2 or 3 years, push it out there that this is true. Hey, people listen to the legal system. They listen to the courts. Why would the government lie to us? And next thing you know, we got Satoshi Nakamoto hawking Bitcoin SV on exchanges everywhere. This is crazy. Let me go to the comments and see what some of you all have to say about that. Let's see, PFC Wells say what's going on. So doesn't that mean he can now get the shoulder tap for Bitcoin? Oh, good point, Trek. Great point. The United States might actually have somebody in their targets. I don't think he's thinking about that. He's just thinking about the money, I guess. Let's see. Nappy Way said, does anybody get the notification from YouTube about a live show? Must have got that shadow ban from yesterday. Let's see. Carmelo said, I'm happily laughing at Bitfinex. I know what you mean, Carmelo. When you're the exchange that you hate, when they go down or they're catching a beating, you love to see it. I'm with you. Michael Williams, what's up? Said first time catching a live in a long time. Welcome back. D Biggie said exchanges liquidating people all the way down with fake up wicks. Exactly. So great point. Sometimes on exchanges, when you see those wicks people, again, I talk about this in the masterclass as well. And Trek said the month ends tomorrow. So when's the class? The class will be out in the next 24 to 36 hours for sure. But one of the things we do mention is on the DeFi space with the protocols, Iron Finance, right? Iron Finance. The whole rug pull just happened. One of the things about the rug pull, and I go into deep detail into this, but the total value locked was at $2 billion. And that actually could have been coded in there to look like that, when in reality, that wasn't a total value lock. So even with wicks on these trading platforms, when you're looking at these charts, who's to say that they didn't just algorithmically put in a wick to make it look like there's inflated volume somewhere, or the price is jumping one way? You're trying to short it or long it based off that wick. In reality, that's not actually what's happening on the back end. So yes, that is something to pay attention to. Good call out on that, D Big. Let's see. Nappy Way said, with the latest shows, I figured Jim and Crypto was about to get the YouTube ban hammer. No, we in here. We are in here. It's not happening. Ark, yes, I said goodness said Ark Invest is trending today. Yeah, Ark is trying to, I did see what they're trending. I can't remember. It wasn't big enough for me to really cover them, but I did see them trending, trying to change something up again. All right, let me get back to it. Next up in the news, Jay-Z and Jack Dorsey own music streaming service could feature NFTs and smart contracts. The name is in the title itself, no pun intended, but Jay-Z and Jack Dorsey emphasize the benefits smart contracts and NFTs offer to artists. You can see that here. They're about to laugh their way to the bank again. They have already hinted that their music streaming service, Tidal, could be eyeing integration supporting non-fungible tokens and smart contracts. But speaking during the June 28th conference, hosted on Twitter Spaces, the duo emphasized the importance of introducing features that empower the artists using the platform, citing smart contracts, NFTs, and analytical tools as examples. As the quote here says, what really dawned on me was how weak some of the tool sets are for artists with analytics and data to understand what they're doing and help them inform their decisions, especially considering other revenue streams like merchandise and touring and NFTs. Dorsey said, we want to open up all the information and tools and simplify it for anyone. Anyone can come on a platform and create. So I think this is going to be pretty cool. Bitcoin Zay and I recently actually just did a talk for a music company, a pretty big music company, whatever. They do all types of stuff, but music's one of their things. And it was an internal talk, but they wanted to know more about NFTs. Maybe they're thinking about implementing them, who knows, right? And one of the things we were telling them was like, hey, we're glad they were reaching out, of course. We are glad they're forward thinking with this. But some of the advice we gave them, which we will give most companies out there like Tidal, is that, yes, this is the actual approach you want to take. You want to open this up for your creators, for everybody out there who have platforms, who manage. You want to open it up for your creators because it's going to happen regardless, right? If NFTs do take over, this becomes a thing. people will use it for their music, art, so on and so forth. So if you're not already educating your creators about it, if you're not offering this to them on your platform, then I mean that's just going to be the next selling point from the next business across the street. He's going to say, hey, we can get you an NFT and teach you how to do XYZ and get you paid for forever. So I do like that Jack Dorsey and Jay-Z is jumping on this, as well as Tidal. I mean, this is kind of along the lines of their mission statement as far as giving back to artists. So again, last but not least, this last quote with Dorsey discussing the potential of added revenue streams such as NFTs with his Square and Twitter CEO, stating that this can help artists shine. The spirit of what NFTs represent, the spirit of just looking critically at how artists are compensated and of proving that is something that we want to spend a lot of time and a lot of our focus going forward. And of course, let's not be funny. Jack Dorsey is super smart. Like, he creates platforms, right? Twitter, he creates the entire platform. You all can tweet. We all can tweet. We can get paid on becoming influencers. He's creating the platform. So the same thing here, which I think more businesses will go toward in the music space because they'll have no choice. They know they have to capitalize on being the platform of NFTs for their artists instead of just offering them one by one individually, or even worse, not even offering them to artists. So it's important that they're doing that because this is the future. Real talk. Thank you for the tip. Was a rug pull on Polygon Matic sidechain. Vitalik doesn't like Matic security. What the gents view on Matic? Okay, so I'm trying to put that together. So you threw a tip out there. I'll show it on the screen for those who are looking. Here's the rug pull on Polygon Matic sidechain. So you're talking about Polywhale. Again, I actually get into this in the masterclass. We'll just take a very quick peek at it. So since you tipped, for those who are wondering what we're talking about, Polywhale got rug pulled. For those who didn't hear, we didn't really cover it because it's not that big in the DeFi space. But yes, they did a soft rug pull last week. You can see here, Polywhale has only been out for a couple months, folks. And yeah, they just pulled their money from the platform, essentially the protocol. People saw, they realized they were rug pulling. Everybody else started pulling their money. The token itself, that dropped, and next thing you know, it was gone. So a $1 million DeFi exit scam. Yes, that did happen. And this was the first side chain yield farm on Polygon. That's what that person's talking about. If you want to know more, stay tuned the next day or two, because like I said, I actually talk about that article and Polywhale in general. I can do that in depth, as well as Iron Finance. I talk about that as well and look at how that happened and how to research it from not happening again, or at least how to avoid it. I go into detail on that because that is a yield farm. So I'm not going to give out too much of that information here. Just know that, yeah, I'm glad you called it out. Real talk. Hey, man, you hacking my computer, man. I'm glad you called that one out. Like I said, I do cover it in detail when it comes to the DeFi and yield farming section. So that's already finished too. So that's pretty cool. All right, Tom Brady and Giselle become part owners of FTX. The financial terms of the long-term partnership with Sam Bankman-Fried's trading empire is not disclosed. If you remember, FTX now sponsors the Miami Arena down there where the Miami Heat played basketball. It is now the FTX Arena. Crypto is taking over. It looks like we're getting an NFL now with Tom Brady, the GOAT. That is right. He is the GOAT. And I will let you all know I don't appreciate or allow Tom Brady slander around these parts. Michigan guy. He went to Michigan. He was drafted, what, 6th or 7th round or something? I mean, totally disrespected. Second, third string guy. He works his way up to first, becomes a champion, and now people hate. I don't understand it. Like, I don't understand it. There will be no Tom Brady GOAT hate around here. He can go to the Bucks. He can go to the Raiders. Hell, we would love to have him up in the Lions, and he could win a Super Bowl for us next year. All right. Tom Brady is the champ. And with all that being said, you know, I joke, but seriously, some people love him that much, right? Some people really have that much love for him. So a person like that who have that much love, won all these Super Bowls, he's a champion, he's respected from many different industries. For him to partner with FTX, after all that I just said, and of course, FTX being a crypto company, but to also receive crypto as part of the deal in this exchange, and he becomes an exchange ambassador. I mean, what more do you want, people? This is what we need for crypto. This is mainstream adoption. A crypto company getting into sports, And now we're actually doing sponsorship and partnership deals with not just athletes, but the greatest athletes of all time. So this is super cool to see. And I kind of think of this exchange ambassador as like Diddy when it came to Ciroc, right? How much did he pump Ciroc? And then look where Ciroc went, right? Ciroc ended up being like the drink of choice for many people who drink vodka. So I'm looking at this the same way. Tom Brady is about to be the Diddy of crypto, of FTX, and he's about to bring more people on over. Why? Because he's the GOAT. That's why, people. All right, let me take a quick look at some comments where I get to this last story. What's going on? Kurt Lentz said all cryptos are garbage. Call in on Friday and let us know. Kadeem said, big blue fan out here. F Tom Brady. Oh, man, listen, I'm not even a big blue fan. My family, I come up from a family of Spartans who support Michigan State. And I went to North Carolina State, so I can't even say it's a real dog in the fight. But I have to support, I have to support my Michigan folks, especially Tom Brady. So go blue on that one. D Big was talking about fake Toshi. So yeah, Craig Wright used to be called fake Toshi. He still is called fake Toshi. But I don't know, maybe soon I might have to say allegedly fake Toshi. I don't know. I don't want the courts to come after me. Geechee Sultan said, dude is a bozo, talking about Craig Wright as well. D Big said it's about Bitcoin Cash ripping off the Bitcoin white paper. Yep. Let's see. D Big said it's not vindication of his white paper. It is a legal point that Bitcoin Cash is not Bitcoin. Okay. Let's see. PFC Wheels Track said, I literally said what he was doing to move the algorithms by way of quartz. It's going to be crazy. This stuff with Craig Wright. It is going to be crazy. Again, my thing isn't the people who've been in this space or even the regulators at this point. It's the new people coming to this space. Like I said, I mentioned before, I didn't realize TikTok was so big for crypto. Like TikTok is huge for crypto. I didn't realize how big it was. Like people are getting all and only their information for cryptocurrency from TikTok. I mean, if you can really believe it, like cryptocurrency, a very tech heavy space getting your information from TikTok. So if it's that easy to manipulate, then yeah, Bitcoin SV on TikTok with some marketing dollars and this court case saying I'm the real SaT0sHi, that's all it takes. All right, and last but not least, want to cover Mexico. This is so shady to see. Mexico's finance minister confirms cryptos are banned from financial system. The statement comes after Mexican billionaire Ricardo Salinas Pliego said that his bank would accept Bitcoin. A top Mexican official reiterated on Monday a ban on the use of cryptocurrencies in the country's financial system. Arturo Herrera, Mexico's finance minister, said cryptocurrencies aren't legal tender assets and aren't treated as currencies within the country's current regulatory framework. I wanted to point this out because like this is literally the problem with countries and governments, and this is why they're going to lose this war. We already know Mexico is dirty. I mean, they can't even control their own backyard like at all. But what's crazy about this is the wealthiest person in your country comes out for a project. The country government works for the people, right? So why would they push back against them? This makes no sense. They should support him. They should support him as a banker. They should support him as a billionaire in the country. And they should say, hey, how can we make this easier for you and the other citizens around the world? But instead, they double down. They got that late night phone call. Was like, hey, you can't control your people over here. You can't control your billionaires. The U.S., we over here trying to. You saw what Elon Musk did. He didn't say nothing on Saturday Night Live. They was like, we can control our billionaires. You need to learn how to control your billionaires, Mexico. And Mexico came out today, and the finance minister said, hey, these bans are not expected to be lifted in the short term. So I don't know what you heard yesterday. I don't know what's going on, but this is what type of time we are on. So, I mean, it doesn't get any more cut and dry as far as what side of the line he's on. It's just a shame to see that, again, where did Bitcoin touch you? Why are you so angry about cryptocurrency? Why are you so enthused about banning it unless it doesn't fit your narrative or what you wanted to do for your country? But regardless, we're used to it. Eventually, everybody's going to have to capitulate. We don't need to ask for permission. That's the beautiful thing about Bitcoin, people. Bitcoin is going to do what it's going to do when it wants to do, whether these governments and regulators get with it or not. All right, and last but not least, thank you for the tip. Nappy Wade said, I've been going back watching old Jim and the crypto interviews, i.e. Live Tree. Yeah, the Live Tree and B tokens are hilarious, right? asking the right questions. Please add an interview playlist. You know what? Good point. We do need to add an interview playlist. So we'll get on that. We will definitely get on that. Alec, Antonio, holler at me, please. All right. As always, thanks for watching. Make sure you smash that like and share. And we will see you all tomorrow with some more crypto news. And again, the masterclass will probably be out in the next day or two. So look out for that. We appreciate it, Alec. Alec just said he got it, everybody. Don't worry. He's on the playlist. And yeah, we'll have that masterclass out in the next day or two for you all as well. Make sure you smash a like and share, and we'll see you all tomorrow for some more. Cheers.